three, I still get very nervous, and I'm sure you'll see that in action later on. Okay, for those of you on Zoom, I don't think the Zoom people are hearing it, but you need to rename yourselves. And out of respect for all of us, we don't speak, and we obviously don't use our cell phones and that. So you also please just put your cell phone on mute so that they don't ring your happy jingle or whatever you have chosen. And so please put your Apple Watches on for the toilet. You can get your steps in over there to the left, about 100 to 200 meters, and you will find it somehow. But it's a little bit of a walk, but we'll get there, and we're going to get used to the venue. So you'll see the little notes on the desks, and those are our woohoo notes. We're a very encouraging club. That's what we're known for, our warmth and our welcome and our encouragement. So please write whatever you find wonderful, encouraging, insightful. I think we can all agree we all need words of encouragement. And then finally, before I hand over to our president, Justine, I'm going to read our club promise. ToastEd Toastmasters Club promises to provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I wish you an exciting and informative and amazing connected event. I hand over to our president, Justine.
Everybody. Wow, a full house almost. We're waiting for a couple of people still. I welcome you all. It's lovely to see everyone in this beautiful venue. And as Chantal mentioned, we have to give a really big thank you to the Peninsula because they have been outstanding. And I'm so grateful to them. Chantal has been so patient with me today. So it's been lovely. And Natasha's also helping. So thank you so much, Chantal. Tonight is our ToastEd 172nd meeting. So we're getting up there, moving on to the 200s quite soon. And the meeting theme is courage. Do we have one? Thank you. The meeting theme is courage. And this evening we have got some very courageous speakers that will be speaking and sharing their stories with us tonight. So we look forward to doing that. I'd like to thank Chantal for introducing me and giving us the rules of the evening and where the bathrooms are, and hopefully everyone has their watch on so they can get their steps in. So thank you, Chantal. And we had some birthdays this last month actually in September. The people aren't here, but I want to celebrate them anyway. We had Yolanda and Libby having celebrated their birthdays on the 13th of September. So just wishing them. Yeah, I was at the beginning of September though. And then this week's Thursday, the 11th of October. 10th of October. Gabrielle's birthday. Wishing you a happy birthday on the 10th of October. My aunt's on the 11th, so I'm getting confused. I would like to take a little time to just quickly go around the room and welcome all of these beautiful guests that are here this evening. I still don't have anyone online.
There's Mina and
just Mina and
Eugene.
Hi Mina, hi Eugene. Can you hear us? Are we sounding fabulous and great?
Absolutely great.
Yay! Okay, thank you. I'm going to start this way and just work my way around. Richard, you have visited us before.
Yes.
What brings you back? You ToastEd.
I enjoy the vibrancy of your club, and you have a way of really vibing it up with a fantastic venue, and it was great wherever I've been, and I'm most impressed with your club and the way you do things.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome. It's lovely to have you back. I think the last time, sorry Richard, the last time you were with us, you were preparing for the speech contest.
Yes.
And you prepared that wonderful speech for us. So lovely to have you back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elaine, welcome. You also have visited our club a few times.
I have visited 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
My first time was at Gabrielle's house.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We were reviving our club. After COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is a very advanced club with great speakers. So always make sure I stop in when I can, when I'm in South Africa.
Amazing. Thank you. Well, thank you for being with us this evening. You haven't visited our club yet, but I remember you did the COP training for us. Was it last year? The end of last year when we were all in Newlands?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes. Actually, I visited your club last week.
Oh, yes. We just went here.
Yes. So I was surprised by the visit, and but I had so much fun. I said, I'm coming back this week. So here I am.
Actual people in the room. Luciano, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
What has brought you to ToastEd this evening?
Thank you for having me here. Well, he had so much fun last weekend. He invited me, and here I am.
Okay, so you know volunteer.
Yes. That's how I got to be here. So thank you. And it's great that I already know some faces.
You're welcome. Thank you for being with us. Jerry, hi, welcome.
Thank you. Why am I here?
Why are you here?
I'm
Oh,
married to him.
What is it like being married to a Toastmaster?
Well, it takes about 30 years before you do your first speech.
Jerry is also a Toastmaster,
Oh, okay.
just starting level 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Awesome.
Wow, amazing.
I don't know how that happened.
Hi, are you Suzanne?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Nice to meet you, because last time we kind of met online. And
Yes,
you
yes,
had the camera
I-
off. Nice to see you.
I know, it's so nice to be here. I joined a bit late. I think everyone sounds like they don't need to be in Toastmasters. Everyone's spoken at that time, right? Yeah, this is my first time at Toastmasters ever, at any Toastmasters. And I think I've been meaning to do it for ages, but finding excuses to not do it.
But you're here.
Yes,
So well
yes,
done.
and-
Yes.
Congratulations.
And I've spoken to Gabrielle quite a bit, and I must say it sounds like a really nice Toastmasters group.
It is.
We are a little bit biased, but yes. we are. It's lovely to have you. I even said to Gabrielle, could you join the educational? And I was like,
Yes.
she was so chatty and engaged, like so engaged.
But I have my camera off.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't turn your camera off now. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you, but it's lovely to have you with us today.
Thank you.
And then we have our wonderful dearest Michelle, who has actually, she was the one who brought this venue to us. And she is a very valued old ToastEd member who we miss dearly and has visited us this evening. So what brought you back?
I miss the vibrancy of the club.
Yeah.
I'm here to support, and I just felt like I wanted to be here and see what this whole new concept is in a
Julia has so much. We're all just so upset we couldn't be at your wedding. It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And well, I share with Suzanne, Maurice, and these two people that it's my very first physical Toastmaster meeting. I have spent one or two on the notebook together with Julia.
Yes.
I don't know exactly when, but it's a great pleasure to be here. And Julia told me that many people will know me. But for sure, I don't know everybody here. My very first impression this evening is there are so many positive vibrations here in this room. This is unbelievable, and this is so great. And I feel just good, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. And I'm just excited what will happen. Let's see.
Thank you. Yeah, you're a bit of a celebrity. Thank you. It's lovely to have you and to see
Thank you.
a face to this Oliver.
Yeah, it's Oliver. This is something.
Yeah, you exist.
Does he really exist? Yes, he does.
Great to have you. Welcome. So, Julia, we're dragging you along.
Yes, so Julia said the whole time like, yes, you have to come, there's such a good vibe here, and they're so funny. And then I said, yeah, okay, I'll go try it, and then yeah, I will see what happens.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Oliver's and Julia's son,
Indeed.
and since she's the Toastmaster today, she told them that we have to come.
Oh, great morals. Oh, thank you. It's so lovely to hear from all of our guests. I don't have anyone online yet.
There you have.
There's Mina.
But I don't have Alex
There
from
he
Kenya.
is.
There. He just hasn't had his camera on.
Oh,
Bottom.
hello, Alex. Yes, no. Okay, Alex is our grammarian and he's in Kenya.
Wow.
That's
Oh, wow.
exciting. He's a Toastmaster.
You have to unmute himself.
Yeah.
I muted everybody.
Alex, can you hear us?
Hi, Alex.
Oh, hi, Alex.
Hi, hello. I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Welcome. It's lovely to have you
Can
with
you-
us.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Thank you. My name is Alexander from Meru Toastmasters in Kenya. I linked up with someone by the name Justin. I'd like to know who that is. Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
That's me, Alex.
Yeah, I'm expectant. I can't wait to see what the meeting
Amazing.
looks
Thank
like
you.
and how it unfolds. Thank you.
Because my understanding is that you are the VPE for your club in Kenya.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct.
Amazing. Great. I hope there's a lot of learning for you, and thank you for taking on a role. That's wonderful and brave.
Yeah, thank you. I also completed my pathway, and before I launched a new pathway, I thought I'd see what other people are doing around the world, other clubs outside the country, probably. And that's why I'm here.
Fabulous. That's amazing. Thank you, Alex. Congratulations on completing your path. That's fabulous news.
Thank you.
Great. I have this little piece of paper in my hand. They should be around your tables. These are called woohoo notes. And the purpose of a woohoo note is to send words of affirmation, any sort of compliments you might have for a speaker on the evening. We've got 4 speakers tonight. Something they did well, something that resonated with you, whatever speaks from your heart onto this little piece of paper, and you can pass it around. It's the one time that you can fold up little notes and pass them around and no one will get upset. So please do. It's encouraged that you pass them around, and it's a really lovely feeling for our speakers to leave this evening with a whole lot of woohoo notes and just realizing what a great job they did. So I encourage you, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. And now I get the opportunity, I didn't forget this time. For those of you online, please will you unmute yourselves, and I ask everyone if you've got a glass. If you don't have a glass, that's okay.
Like half a glass.
Yeah, have a quick glass. And we raise a toast to South Africa and all her speakers.
And all the speakers. There's only 2. Yeah.
I'm wishing all of our speakers this evening all the very best. We have impromptu speeches later, which I hope all of our guests will get involved with if you want to. No pressure. It's only a minute. And for all the role players, there's some new time role players. Good luck. All the best to our speakers. And I have the absolute privilege to invite our wonderful Toastmaster of the evening, who is definitely going to inspire with her courageousness, is our wonderful Julia.
ToastEd Toastmaster, dear fellow Toasties and members and guests. I'm very happy that you are here and that you share this space and this time. So what is going to happen tonight? I want to introduce you to this club, and I love the idea when you leave this room tonight that you feel small sparks who inspire you to start the fire when you come home. Whatever it is in your life right now, and I know we all have this little sparks in our mind, in our heart, but sometimes it just needs a push. So please, be here with me, with an open heart, with everyone who's speaking tonight to get exactly there. One personal story I like to share with you. So this guy, that's my fan club, he's just behaves. But the reason we are married is very far back to the word courage and how powerful words are and how powerful it is to actually step out of your comfort zone. Why? Because when Oliver came first time to South Africa and I was his tourist guide, and he was here with his parents for his 50th birthday, I was very professional till I couldn't hold back anymore. And I decided to be courageous. And what does it mean? It means that I said something I would possibly not say, and that's the famous sentence, "Don't you want to kiss me now?" And it's almost before the finish of our trip. And
after 13 days.
After 13 days, and it was super hard because this was.
He asked me, "Don't you want to kiss me now?" And I said, "Okay, let's do it."
You could not be married if I got this.
Yeah, that's right.
So, just as an inspiration, just take it. I'm happy to be a Toastmaster. What does it mean? I will guide you a little bit through the program. Not a little bit, I will guide you through the program. And I will introduce you to certain roles everyone's taking on. So being a Toastmaster, I choose to train myself in being a good leader, or just guide through a program and make everyone happy, whoever wants to be happy, actually. The next roles who will come up is timekeeper. What is a timekeeper? JP, you make it on time. Congratulations. So JP will tell you later what the green, the yellow, and the red card will be. You will introduce us later and explain what you're going to do. Then we have another role, and the other role is Anna. And this is your first time to do this counter. What it is all about, you will explain later. Thank you so much to be courageous to take on this role. And then our third role, what will come up is with Alex. And Alex is the grammarian. What is the grammarian doing? Alex, I'm sure you know what you have to tell and explain to us. So just be here with an open heart. And if someone struggles, just be hopeful, just be joyful, and just be yourself. And that is for me. I wish you a great evening. Please, Anna, please, JP, introduce your role to us. Yes, I love to see you on stage. There's a small cross.
Yeah.
Right.
Good evening, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. This evening I will be your timekeeper. As such, I will be timing the various speakers. These will be the table topics, the icebreakers, and the speeches. I'll be doing so using these cards. For the table topics, the speech is 2 minutes long. At a 1 minute interval, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30, the yellow, and at 2 minutes, the red. Then for the icebreakers, there will be 5 minutes. I will raise the green card at 5, and I will raise at 4, right? And the orange at 4:30, and the red at 5. And for the speeches, there will be 7 minutes, and for that, I will raise the green card at 5 minutes, and the yellow at 6, and the final at 7 for red. Thank you, and good luck to all the speakers.
Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and guests, welcome. The purpose of the A counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or a pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler words, filler sounds, including and I will also note that when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker has used these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. I'll be your grammarian tonight. And the role I'm taking tonight is to help us to improve our speaking and listening skills. I'll be noting the use of language throughout the meeting, including grammar, vocabulary, and overall clarity of expression. The word of the day tonight is conscientious. I hope you can see it in the chat. I haven't given an example yet, but I've given a definition. A personality trait that involves being diligent, responsible, and organized. You could use it in place of hard work, opposite to someone who is lazy, someone who's keen on whatever affairs they're doing. Let me give an example before I can update it on the chat, he's a conscientious student who always completes his assignment. So you can see that could make sense if someone replaced that with hard work or diligent. And as the meeting progresses, I'll be taking notes on interesting phrases, effective language use, and any grammatical errors I observe. I'll provide a brief report at the end of the meeting, highlighting my findings and offering constructive feedback. Before you speak, you can keep on practicing on the pronunciation of the word so that you don't trip on it. But Toastmasters is a learning experience. Thank you.
To introduce Eugene Assim, who will be the first evaluator for our first speech from Chantel. Eugene, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to be with you all tonight. Tonight, I will be evaluating Chantel as she gives her speech on raising resilient kids. This is the first project in level 3 of the Visionary Communication Pathway, developing a communication plan. For her speech today, I will be looking out for clarity in her speech, vocal variety, eye contact, use of gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, and an all-round well-supported speech. Chantel is a passionate advocate for child development. Today, she will discuss strategies and techniques to help children build the strength and resilience they need to thrive in today's world. Please join me in giving Chantel a warm welcome.
Is the ability to bounce back after challenges and hardship. Why is it so important that kids and adults have resilience, you may ask? Well, what does it look like when we don't have that? What happens when things get hard? People quit and they give up. I think we can all agree that life is pretty challenging and tough. Who here in this room has had a difficult conversation or situation weekly? Who has a difficult situation or conversation, I'm talking personally and in business, daily? Can be pretty awkward. And what would that look like if you didn't have the resilience to push through and to stand up each day and make it happen? In a famous study on what makes people successful, Angela Duckworth found that there was one quality above all else that ensured success. She measured across academics, across in the military, in sport, in any sphere, there was one quality that stood out. And it wasn't talent, it wasn't brains, it wasn't education, and it wasn't even money. It was what she coined the term grit. Grit is another word for resilience or conscientiousness. And it's the ability to push through when things get really hard. Now, where do we develop grit from? And I'm speaking specifically as a parent, expert and educator on where, so I'm focusing on kids, but I think we can all take this lesson, is where do children get resilience? They get it by pushing through hard times, and they get it by experiencing challenges and having to learn to push through. One of the biggest things that we learn is that actually competence builds confidence. So I want to tell you about a child that was brought to my private practice. Her name is Gillian. She was 12 years old and she got brought when she was in the 6th grade. She was really struggling. They found that Gillian really gave up quite easily on tasks. She found life quite hard and overwhelming, was experiencing anxiety. Often when things got too hard, she had a pain or ache or a tummy ache. She was struggling. Her maths was difficult for her. She was also struggling with personal and social relationships. And by the time she came to me, she didn't want to go to school anymore. Okay. After taking a family history and interviewing Gillian's mom and the teacher, quite a clear picture emerged of what was happening in the situation. Julian's mom was facilitating a lack of resilience. And for ourselves to have a bit more insight, I'd like to ask these questions so that you can understand if you're facilitating resilience or a lack thereof. So is my parenting style breeding strength or weakness? Do you often rescue your child from a difficult situation, like unfinished homework, which was in Julian's case? Do you allow your child to make mistakes and suffer the consequences? Do you solve your child's problems? Does your fear of upsetting your child make you give a different result or a different consequence, or make it easier for your child? And also, the big one is, does your past and your past experiences interfere with how you're actually wanting to parent? So with all the best intentions in the world, Julian's mom was facilitating this lack of resilience. A few examples are when Jillian came home from grade 1 in school, she said to her mom, this child is irritating her, and that's super common. So what did her mom do? Her mom phoned the teacher, please move the child away from my child, she can't concentrate. Jillian found maths quite difficult, and she didn't actually want to do a maths homework because she was tired at the end of the day. So, but in the next morning, she used to throw a tantrum because now she had to face the consequences. So Jillian's mom eventually found this too much, so she started doing a maths homework for her. Or she would email the teacher just so that to ensure that Jillian was off the hook. Jillian also often came home with stories of how mean the kids were and how they were bullying her. And her mom assumed the victim role instead of actually really understanding and unpacking what was going on. Another really important thing is chores. And Julian's mom found it actually quite hard for her to follow through and get her to do chores. So eventually it was actually just too much hard work and too much drama because Julian also dissolved into tears and I hate my life. And so it was just easier to let Julian off the hook. So after chatting to Jillian, I'm going to share some guidelines that I gave to her mom on how to facilitate resilience and competence. Support your child, but don't try and solve their problems. Avoid preventing the problems for your child. For instance, in the case of the grade 1 homework, let your child face the consequences. Help your child identify and manage emotions. And so you find with kids that have a lack of resilience, they have a very small window of tolerance for frustration and setback. And you really need to make this bigger. So by helping them identify their emotions, you can help them stretch their capacity for negative emotions. Very important that we have a growth mindset, because a growth mindset teaches, and we need to model this and we need to input this into our kids, but growth mindset models, you can go through hard things and you need to be able to push through. One of my favorite phrases is praise effort and not outcome. So what we have been guilty of before is we praise talent, brains, and beauty. Your child did not earn any of these things, and it doesn't teach them anything. Because when they're in the room with other talented, brainy, and beautiful people, then they crumble because they actually need that inner resilience to push through and get to the top. One of the game-changing phrases which I teach children, I actually teach it to parents, and to be honest, I use it myself, is I can do hard things. It's life-changing. Please try it at home. It's just produced the most amazing results. I'm pleased to say that after 6 months of Jillian's mom applying these principles, we were looking at a very different scenario. Jillian had, because she had to face some uncomfortable consequences, for instance, when her maths homework wasn't done, a few times of the teacher giving her consequences, she eventually developed a competence in maths because now she was actually doing her homework. And Jillian's mom also praised her every time she put effort in. And how we do this is, I can see you trying hard. I can see you really persevering in that situation. So she developed a desire and a value of pushing through. As parents, we don't realize the consequences of hovering over our children and rescuing them. Our job as parents is to make our children feel safe and valued, but most importantly, giving them the message that they can do hard things. Thank you.
On you to be the second evaluator of the next speech. Good evening. So I'm here to evaluate Amina Muhammad's speech. It is the Visionary Communication Level 1 speech, and it's the second speech on this pathway. Her title is A Whisper, and it's a speech that she's presented at one of her home club meetings in India, and she wants to check how the language that she uses is relatable to us, that we understand what it is she's speaking about. So it's about informing and as well as entertaining us. So she's tasked with presenting, having written a speech that is well organized on any topic of her choosing. Thank you.
As a child, when I grew up, I always admired weddings because you got to have a lot of food under one roof. Be it Italian, be it Indian, be it Mexican, all of it under just one roof. On the other side, when you see my birthday parties, I have a small plate with a cupcake, a chocolate cake, and a few cookies with a few friends around. So I decided, when I grow up, I will get wedded because I want to enjoy the buffet in my wedding. Saying this, all of my cousins came in unison and told, Meena, your time will come. As I grew up, certainly my time came. This time, my cousins, their spouse, my niece, nephew, my friends who once upon a time told Meena, let's stay single to enjoy life. All of them jumped in unison to say, Meena, when will you get married? Hearing this, my aunt Ratna made a list of all the weddings that's happening in and around my city to find the potential grooms. Just for your information, in India, we attend weddings to network and find the potential grooms. With all of this in place, me, an introvert and an absolute foodie, was advised strictly by my aunt. Don't go and have food. Rather, network to find the potential grooms. As the conversation was happening, looking at my annoyed face, my mother whispered, Meena, your life, your decision. Let it not be someone's choice. And then this gave me confidence as we drove to the wedding hall, as my aunt continued to introduce me to the potential grooms, generating content like the chat GPT. Please meet Meena Mohan Kumar, who is an engineer, who is a Toastmaster, who has got promotion recently. She loves coloring, cooking, dancing. And as the content was generated, I kept wondering which of me is the real me and which of me is the Meena 2.0 generated by my aunt. And on the other side, the groom as well started talking about the son and the family. Where do they come from? He is from America, settled in India. He wants to be an entrepreneur. As they generated the content, the match was forcefully made amongst the elders, and we agreed to meet the following day. As I was driving back home, my aunt told, he is the best ever you can find. Just marry him. With all of these loud voices ringing in my mind, my mother's whisper echoed the loudest. Meena, Your life, your decision, let it not be someone's choice. As I reached home, I started to Google how to find a potential partner. What questions to ask to find a soulmate? How do I know if this guy is the right fit for me? How do I assess the psychology of a guy? With all of these Google searches, I was equipped with the questionnaire to fire them one after the other the following day to the potential groom. I reached the cafeteria and I was frozen, like I'm in Antarctica, with questions like guns, but unable to shoot them. And I wondered, where is the content? The random access memory in my mind said, data not found, page 404 not found. While I was at this scenario, I had to pick up resilience, just like the speaker one mentioned. I had no option. Because I'm a Toastmaster, resilience just kicks in. I took up a table topic master role on spot and I shooted the first question. So, where do you come from and what are your interests? As the guy started to speak, several roles that we pick up in the meeting started to flash in my mind. Just like the timer flashed green card, I started flashing red card at the 30th second of the speech. And the R counter in me started counting too many R's, too many arms. The grammarian in me started saying the subject and object don't agree. The word usage is not right. The sentence tense is not right. With all of this, the evaluator in me jumped in to say, no eye contact, poor body language. This doesn't express authenticity. With all of this, my aunt's voice was still ringing in my mind. Meena, he's the best guy you can ever find. Just marry him. And my mother's whisper was the loudest. Your life, your decision, let it not be someone's choice. With two voices hitting in my mind simultaneously, I asked myself, do I feel like living with this guy for the rest of my life? My intuition said, absolutely no, wind up the meeting and end this Dutch dinner and just walk away. The meeting ended and I never saw that guy again. The point I want to drive is, in every walk of a life, there are multiple voices hitting in our mind. Be it the voice, the inner voice is the voice from the society. It can take you and lead you to several paths. But your intuition will surely drive you to find what's best for you. Just hear this whisper. Your life, your decision. Let it not be someone's choice. Back to Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Very, very much, Meena. I'd like to introduce you now to Bill Russell. Thank you so much for being here and evaluate and introduce Claire Van Zyl for the next speech.
I'm Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and so many welcome guests. Claire is not going to be doing a Toastmasters project speech tonight, but it's going to be a business presentation that she's hoping to incorporate within her own business. Okay, so this is one of the reasons we come here, is to practice, and to hopefully develop ourselves in terms of our personal growth, but also our business growth. I'll be looking for the normal things that I'd be looking at for a speech. I'll be looking for something that's thought-provoking, that holds the interest of the audience, that pertains to a particular audience. And so with a speech entitled Courage, Compassion, and Care, please welcome Claire van Sep.
Dad turned 94 years young on Wednesday. And he always emphasizes the young. Because after all, what is the secret to long life? Anybody?
Happiness.
Okay. Anything else?
Health.
Wine. It's much simpler. Just keep breathing. So what are the certainties in life? Death and taxes. And even when you die, the taxman's going to tax you to death. So this speech is all about something that touches all of us at one time or another. And that is when we lose people that we love. So bear with me, because I hope that you will feel the same as I do, the gratitude for being able to be courageous, have compassion, and care for someone in their last days. So a couple of years ago, in 2014 actually, I lost somebody once a month for 6 months. And I thought, sure, that's a bit hard. 2017 rolls around, and it was 5 people in 6 days. The only person who was an elderly person was my aunt, who was in her 80s. I cried for days. Couldn't get over it. Fortunately, in 2020, I learned a beautiful process called Psych-K. And Luciano is one of the ladies that I also met through Psych-K. That inconsolable grief. But Psych-K gave me some gifts. So before I get there, I was walking through the beautiful market in the waterfront, and I saw this. It was a face mask. And I took it home, and I showed it to Mom. She was like, that's fantastic. That's how it should be. Celebrating. So I said to Mom, there's a bag that looks the same. She said, you've got to go and get it. I said, fantastic. I said, Mom, when I saw this bag, the whisper came down. Mourn the loss, cherish the memories, celebrate the life. So my mom nearly died when she was 2. She nearly died again when she was 26. But my mother was a tenacious, resilient, absolutely determined woman. She was going to be here as long as she could. She'd met my dad when she was 22, my dad was 28. A chance meeting in England, and they married. 65 years they were together. And my mom, despite her ill health, not wanting to leave my dad, because she knew he'd determined to say to her, you die before me, I will kill you dead. So she stayed around as long as she could. Again, surviving near death in 2011 and 2021. I, all my life, had been an absolute anxiety pot. And especially 13 years ago when I started looking after my parents. And anytime Mom would get a sniffle or something, the anxiety and the nerves, and it just became too much. Because Mom had COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And in 2021, when she nearly died, she acquired heart failure. Those doctor's visits, nervousness, it was enough to send me to a loony bin. In comes Psyche. I started using the beautiful tools to help me deal with the anxieties. And I used one of them as transform the perception of a stressful situation, the future loss of my beautiful parents. So I did that in 2022. The beautiful benefit of that was when my mother started to get sick. I was completely courageous. I had compassion for her and care and contacted the relevant people without adding my anxiety to my mother. That is the gift when we can be compassionate, face those challenging situations with compassion for ourselves and for others. I had the absolute privilege and honor to be able to walk the last 13 years with my mom, and in particular, the last year. So this was taken on the 18th of August last year at one of our family friends' celebration of life. And mom passed in June this year, the 11th of June. But the beauty was, having gone to the celebration, mom had said to me, I don't want a sad event. I want a happy celebration. Lorna's was a happy celebration. And so I knew exactly what to do for my mom. Listen to your family and friends, and especially for yourself. Think about how you would like to be treated. And remember that when we become anxious, we add our anxieties to others because it is contagious. Take that courage, that compassion, and that care, and make a positive mark on the people's lives that you enter. Madam Clerk.
Always such a beautiful insight. And I love to listen and to see your growth happening. I like to say something. Usually when I do Toastmaster, or I've done it a couple of times before, I love to add something personal. So tonight I thought I will be the super professional person and just use the amount of words what is needed. But I miss myself actually being the woman who actually makes you smile. And just listening to you, Claire, I just got reminded it's so important to just be there all the time, present, and stand up for who we are. And you stood up for your parents. And I just love to share this, me as a personal Toastmaster to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Claire. I'd love to welcome you here to another exciting speech. And what it is all about, I'm sure you'll share now with us about Lauren's speech. Thank you.
So I'll be evaluating Lawrence tonight, and the speech actually changed 5 minutes before I arrived. So Lawrence has a way of doing this. He'll come and sit and you go, come on, it's changed my speech. And I go, really? So the speech is titled The Dream in You, and Lawrence is on level 3 with engaging humor, and what he's asked me to look at tonight is that he's giving a talk to a university cohort, and he wants to be able to put this 40-minute talk that he's giving to them about financial security and improving their financial well-being, and he's using this speech as a precursor to them being able to get the benefit of that. Thank you.
I must confess, I never thought I'd call myself a real estate investor. But sometimes when you don't have the courage or the foresight to act on life, life acts on you. We all know that, right? We all know that feeling that we know we must go to the dentist. You got to go to the dentist every year. And yet we skip it. And we skip it. And then we're sitting in front of that juicy chicken mayo sandwich with sesame seeds on the side. And you bite into it, and then eventually you bite just a little bit too hard on the wrong tooth. And you hear that crack and that pain, and then the root canal. That's life acting on you. And sometimes we have these dreams that we don't act on. And some of us are lucky enough that life gets in the way. Otherwise, you end up one of those statistics where in the graveyard, so many dreams, inventions, and innovations go to die with their owner. I was one of the lucky ones. Life got in the way. Madam Toastmaster. See, my dream was simple. I wanted to be a writer. I was 16 when this dream came to me, and I thought to myself, how cool would it be if I walk into Nando's or a nightclub and I say, hey, baby. My name's Lawrence and I'm an author. She's blushing. And this dream was exciting. I couldn't keep it to myself. I went to my friends and I said, I'm going to be a writer. I went to my teachers. I said, I want to be a writer. I went to my parents. I said, I'm going to be a writer. And they all looked at me like, what is wrong with you, boy? Don't you know how life works? You can't just do your dream, and this wet blanket of society dampened my spirits. And instead, I followed the path well traveled. I got a degree. I started working in corporate. And 1 year into that corporate stint, there was this acronym that I used every single week. Does anybody know this acronym? Who's in corporate? You look like you're in corporate. Have you heard of TGIF?
Oh, yes. Thank God it's Friday.
Oh, thank goodness it's Friday. And I was saying it every Thursday, I started to get that feeling, you know? Because I knew tomorrow was Friday. And I'd walk into the office with the biggest smile on my face, and everybody would be happy around me. And then I'd hit Sunday. Ooh. That pit in your stomach that feels like a 10-kilogram ball. And you're heading into Glue Monday, treacherous Tuesday, and woeful Wednesday. But then you get to Friday, and it's TGIF. And I was joking with my friend the one day, and he said, Lawrence, you're only happy Fridays and Saturdays. 2 days of your 7 days, you're unhappy. And that hit home for me. And I thought to myself, is that really the life I want to live? So I went home and I started writing. Ooh, and that energy burned like a flame, like a forest fire. So much so that I was obsessed with it, I forgot about meetings. I was writing poetry. I forgot to reply to emails. I was dreaming up characters. I forgot about my work projects. Now, unfortunately, this side of my life, they didn't just let that go. No, I was called into HR's offices, and I was broken up with. You know that classic, it's not you, it's me, but it was me. And they said, this isn't working out, and I was fired. That day I went home and I didn't write. I panicked. She was a lot more productive. Now, sometimes when you don't have the courage or the foresight to act on life, what does life do? It's on you. It acts on you. Now, I tried writing for a good year. no one was reading my stuff. Even my mom, who is legally obligated to read and write my stuff. So eventually I pivoted and I was in rooms like this listening to hundreds of different multi-level marketing pitches, the Amways and all of those things. And then I came across a group that was teaching property investment. And I never really thought of property. But think about this. You buy a property with someone else's money, the bank's money or private investment. Then you put a tenant in the property and you let the tenant pay the bond. So you outsource your obligation to your tenants and then you live off a passive recurring income stream. I was like, what? I can buy back my time and I can write without having to worry about the financials of writing. And that's what I did. I started with a 2-bedroom apartment in Four Ways, Johannesburg. But those properties were too expensive for me, so I went to Heilbrow.
Yeah.
Anybody know Heilbrow?
Yeah.
I was born. I can tell. They call it Drug Hill. They should tell you. I went on to Property 24. I looked for the cheapest property on Property 24, and that's how I found Heilbrow. And I started buying. And eventually I had like 15 units there. I started a YouTube channel to be able to expose my brand and raise more private finance. And 10 years later, I now, with various partners, own just under 200 residential units.
Wow.
And I am financially free through that passive income, which has given me the greatest gift of all, which is time.
Wow.
To focus on writing. And what I'm most proud of is that I can call myself a published author. I don't say this to impress you unless you're young, single, and ready to mingle. But more to impress upon you that we get given these dreams. You don't have to wait on life to act on you. It's your choice to expose your dreams so that they don't end up in the graveyard where so many people's dreams go unlived.
Thank you, Lawrence, so much that you stepped up for our fourth speech this afternoon. Darling, did I told you that you need to take time to speak to this man?
Yeah. Okay. I understood. I know exactly what you mean.
I promised things that I'm responsible for the next couple of millions. Lawrence? Turkey, it's your time to shine. Please report the timings, the time keeping for our speeches.
Wow, it's an amazing speech class. Times from the top. Chantal, 7 minutes 42. Mina, 7 minutes 18. Claire, 7 minutes 20. And Lauren, 7 minutes 18.
Wow. This is the time where I love to invite you to vote for the best speaker. Justine has prepared a barcode where you can take a picture and then vote for the best speaker. Please go wild. We have 4 options. If you need some help, I'm more than happy to help and assist you.
Julia, can you just push the screen a bit down so we can scan it? Yeah, that's even better. Thank you.
Same. Delighted. While you're finishing off, we actually come to the best part of the evening.
I know.
Why? Because now we have the chance to mingle and network with each other, and I hope you all watch these little small letters. If not, just do it and give it to the people who spoke as an encouragement to enable them to be courageous for the future and go better and greater in their speaking career. If you think you don't have started your speaking career, just find someone in this crowd. And it don't has to be Bill. Bill, it was just fantastic. Can I book you as my coach? It's so beautiful to see. With Bill, and we have a 30 minutes interval in a second when I'm finished with my personal talk. It's like with Bill, when you listen to Bill, you see he really got himself out into this world. And I'm sure, Bill, you were very often in a position where you failed, where you felt like failing, and when you developed possibly something beautiful out of this situation. And this is something I like to encourage you as well. Don't you think this is a very beautiful picture that when you fall, you get up and put your crown back on? And I think that's the same with speaking. You can't fail when you don't try. So this is what I like to give you now for the interval. And I love to see you again at 5 past, at 10 past 8 o'clock for table topics in the afternoon and when we are able to listen to the evaluation of the other people. So please enjoy your
Hello, Gabriel. How are you?
Mina?
So you well?
Yes, Gabriel. Can you hear me?
1 second. I have to go a little bit down in the volume. Justine, are you? I am. Mina, tonight is Justine will chat a little bit and I will take care of guests. I just wanted to say your speech, I mean, as always, but I have the feeling it's getting, you speak so easily and you pack so much humanness into it and so much humor. And you find such beautiful sentences and words. You are really, really fantastic. And I hope, I mean, I think that's why I said it is a master speech. My feeling is that, Justine, are you? My feeling is that this speech, you should go to the competition with it. I mean, it's, I know always they want a message, which everybody, which is for everybody. But how many of us make a decision to get married, which does not really come from the heart? Many have financial reasons to get married. Some people get married because they have fallen pregnant or they wanted to pull the guy to them, you know, to be responsible, and then they get married because the guy has to marry them. Other people can't be lonely, alone. And you stand your ground. And I think it's very affirming to people who are bacheloresses to say, listen to this inner voice. And maybe it's not only bacheloresses, it's for men as well, for women and men. I am not quite sure. One would have to ask Verity, but my feeling is that this is something you could work on for the competition. It's a feeling I have. That's why I said it's a master speech. So let's see. Is that hi, Maris? Is that Amina? I get another one here for you. Really good use at humor.
So,
yeah. Are you?
How said she will come and be on. But she just wanted to get something.
I checked a look, but it's only Mina in a moment. Okay, Mina, I just got from Marius a note for you. Really good use of humor. Brilliant message. You see, that's where I say we have to ask really good structure. We have to ask Verity whether she can't listen to that speech of yours and see whether that's something you should work on it a little bit more and take it to the competition. It's just a gut feeling I have. So I think we all agree on that. It's a brilliant speech. So I will ask Verity for you whether she could listen to it. We have recorded it. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Very much for your evaluation. I'd like to call the next person, Claire Van Zyl. Please give us the evaluation.
Madam Toastmaster and Toastmasters and guests, and especially Mina. I love Mina's presentations. You can just feel the excitement all the way from India to this room. So I just love that. You have such energy, and your humor is absolutely brilliant. I was like, wow, it's like ChatGPT. And firing those questions like guns and then freezing. And that, where's my RAM, my random access memory? What's happened? So I love that. And the thing is, does everybody know that what mostly happens in India in terms of who you get to marry? It's arranged. A lot of arranged marriages. So I was very pleased to hear that Mina's mother was whispering, your life, your decision, let it not be someone else's choice. And that could apply to anything. I love that message. But in particular, with something as big as getting married. I also didn't know that weddings are not just for enjoying the wedding ceremony, but actually it's a bit of a networking opportunity, seeking for a husband. So that was great. I loved your humor. I loved your eye contact. The things I wanted to suggest is perhaps looking at standing and a bit further away from the camera so that we can see more of your body language. But what we could see was good and expressive, but if
Can you hear?
Even I'm not able to.
and I loved that your mother's whisper was louder than anybody else's voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you very much. Mina, I recorded just from that moment where we lost you on the computer, and I will send you just now when I sit back down the rest of your evaluation that you can look at immediately. Thank you so much, Claire. And I'd like to call Bill Russell, please, for the next evaluation of Claire Van Zyl's speech.
Toastmaster and family, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, especially Claire. What I loved about this speech is three things. Mourn the loss, cherish the memories, celebrate the life. What a wonderful roadmap. Claire is a Psych K practitioner, and she has clients that she has done one-on-ones with in something like 13 different countries. 17. Okay. It is something that she does on a one-on-one basis. So giving the presentation here to a group is somewhat challenging, right? In getting across those same exact points. But let me say this, extremely thought-provoking. And that to me is always a challenge for somebody getting up in front of an audience, particularly one as diverse and as wide as this one. What I really liked about it as well is it was from the heart. Okay, here's an example. When you're giving speeches like this, using personal examples goes so much stronger than talking about someone else or you've heard about this happening to somebody else. Right? This is something that's personally happened to me. I had 6 deaths in 6 months. I had 5 deaths in 7 days, whatever that exact stat was. But how powerful that comes across, right? The sense of loss. Most of the people in this room, there are some younger people in here, but most of us have lost someone that we've loved and cherished. Right? And we all know that sense of loss and that anxiety, et cetera. So getting that across and touching audience members in that way is extremely strong by using that personal contact. I've got a couple of suggestions that I would make for this speech, right? Number one, because it is something that you would be doing mostly online, mostly one-on-one, I would celebrate much more making actual personal eye contact with people in the room when you make each individual point. So that it gets across in a very different way, as opposed to a large audience like this. But the other thing that I would challenge you to do is to really reconstruct this speech in a way that it pertains to a large audience. Because you have 25 people here who have all suffered loss. And is this just about losing a parent, or does it also work for all types of anxiety situations, all types of traumas? 25 people here that can come to you afterwards and say, that's a situation that you should be talking to my cousin about, my mother about, my son about, etc. And it's, I think, a very powerful way of going about doing it. So I have a greater appreciation for what this is and how to go forward with it in my own life. I'm going to say this about this room. It's a little challenging because normally I would put my notes right here on the lectern, and it doesn't exist, right? And at least there's 4 evaluators who should have notes. Sometimes a speaker will have notes, and it's nice to be able to use that. So with that, I also find the room's a little confining in terms of we've had a lot of people standing over here like this. Now, number one, I know my face is in this light and I'm blocking the screen and my body's wide enough that probably none of the people back here can see anyone on that screen. So getting over the challenges of that and figuring out this room configuration is something in a new hotel that you've got to work on. But overall, extremely beautiful speech, thought-provoking, and thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you so much for the evaluation of Claire. I'm very excited when we finish this evening off and you give us an evaluation of the evening. I think it needs sometimes the courage actually to speak out. And that is why we're here, and I'm completely thankful to everyone who is as brave as everyone who actually speaking tonight. And saying that, I'm coming to the next evaluator. Sean, are you ready to evaluate?
Lawrence, you're a consummate, you're an authority on speaking, and I think you do that so well. When you open up, I think you really capture people's attention, and your opening line of, if you don't act on life, life acts on you, that's the hook that grabbed me, that I went, wow, okay, what I'm going to hear now. So there's something there in that message that says, hang on, pay attention here, because there's something that's going to be said. So that was a great opening. And then I think you asked me about the humor. I think the toothache humor is great humor. I think it kind of like, because we can all relate to toothache, right? Oh, that goes through my head. And so that was great. And your hand usage is very good. Your hand usage, you were expressive. I could see how you were using your hands. I'm going to come to the things that you improved on just now, but I just want to get through the things that were good. I thought the voice modulation was good to a point, but I just felt that it didn't hit high notes up. It seemed to plateau at a stage. So the voice modulation was like, it was good, but could you accentuate that more? That could be something that you want to look at. I thought the TGI was great, Jim, because most people work in corporates, right? So you kind of know that, oh God, you're working for the boss, you're the hamster on the wheel. No one really enjoys working for their boss, right? So your Monday to Thursday is drudgery, and then you get to like the Friday, and that it all looks great, and then the weekend is just too short. And I think you could almost like even accentuate that even more, where you go, God, that weekend was just so short. Do I have to be back there for that Blue Monday? So you could even like punch that even more. And yeah, you would, because you talk about the 2 out of 7 days of happiness, and you could even bring that down. Thank you. So I thought that panic is a lot more productive. That wasn't really funny. So there's some great humor that's coming out in that. And Mom legally obliged to read my stuff. I went, oh God, that's so good. Because like, that's your parents. And when they don't want to, that's like so funny.
That was funny.
And so the things that you can improve on, right? You could raise your voice a bit more when you need to highlight the certain things. It sounded a little bit like the modulation didn't show the excitement I was looking for. And if you're talking to those students, you need to go and punch that out, man. You need to get that right out there. And that's the words that you're looking for, because they're going, when you sell 200 units, man, that's not like, yeah, I've sold 200 units, and like, no, fuck. So, sorry.
And the red card. Red card.
So 200 units, you can do that too. And what I just, when you were using the stage, I noted that you didn't stand here. Most of your time you were here, and you moved a little bit here, and then you used this part of the audience to just to interact with them. I would have also moved to that side of the room just to bring them back into the fold, so that they don't feel excluded, because over here, this looks like this is a cabal. And yeah, so walk the room more to the center. And I would have had a closing line like this. I would have said, there's no time like the present to make a change in your life, and bang that home. Thank you.
Wow.
Can you feel the energy? JP, can I feel the time? Evaluation, please.
Well done, evaluators. It was very well done. Good laughs. Starting from the top. Eugene, you came in at 2 minutes 31. Well done. Claire, 3 minutes on the dot. Bill, 3 minutes 22. And Sean, just under 4 minutes.
JP, for closing up our second exciting part of the evening. Are you ready? I come back now. Are you ready for the third part of this evening? The third excitement.
Yes.
Yes. This is Andrea, and Andrea will take us now on a very special journey. And for everyone who hasn't done that yet, Andrea shared with me, I have to share a personal story with you just now. Andrea and me, we had a conversation. Yes, I know this camera is beautiful, we will change it, but it's like, I feel so disconnected when I'm on the other side. Nina, I'm coming back. I spoke to Andrea just before the meeting, and I said, Andrea, are you ready for table topics? Said, yes, I am. And then she shared with me, are you worried what I'm sharing now? And then she shared with me, Julia, I have two options. I have to save wood, and I have the wood where it needs a little bit more courage. And I looked at her. You remember how I looked at her and said, there is no question if you have one or two. You go with your gut. And that is what we do. That is what we do here. That is what I like to encourage everyone to do in their life. Because we trust our gut feeling. I'm not talking about drinking too much wine and putting on this belly. I trust your gut feeling, Andrea, now. And thank you so much for being our table topic master. This is about impromptu speech. So you will be invited and Andrea will explain what it is all about. If you haven't done it, just be very brave. You're always limited on time. And then, I don't know that you upset later that you had no chance to speak. Even when you don't want to speak, you want to speak.
Personality coming out. So tonight we've reached that point of our table topics, and I've got just a little bit of something here to share with you. Firstly, as a table topics master, my role is to spark some creativity and give us all a chance to think on our feet. For those who are new to table topics, it's a fun part of the meeting where you are asked to give a very short impromptu speech lasting about 1 to 2 minutes. There's no time for deep preparation, just enough to gather your thoughts and speak conscientiously from the heart. It's an excellent way to build confidence and practice quick thinking. Before we dive in, I just want to share something that helps me with impromptu speaking, and it's a little way to remember. It's called PREP, the PREP method, P-R-E-P, and PREP stands for point, reason, example, and point again. So it's something that you can use when you're standing up here. If you don't have a thought in your brain and you don't know what's going to come next, it's something that can help you to get through your impromptu speech. Point, you start by making a point, P. R is a reason for what is supporting your point. E is an example that you can share to help you along the way. And point again, prep. The last P is to sort of bring your point through again. So it is point, reason, example, and point. This definitely helps to organize your thoughts and deliver a structured response, especially when you're put on the spot. Now, Julia mentioned when I started organizing the table topics tonight, there were two options for me. The safe option, which is the usual, you get a question and you have to speak on the spot. Or the other option, which is a little bit more, taking a little bit more courage. What I didn't realize, it was going to be such a big room tonight. So I think we might just have enough time to do both. Okay, so I would like to start with the first one. I need 5 volunteers.
Nice.
Okay, so I've got a couple, thank you very much.
Wait, have you got a list already?
Yeah, I've got a little list, so I'm happy for you to come. There
we go. Yeah.
One of you, because I'm going to add that next one. Who wants to come? Would you like to come? Yeah. Come stand here for me. Lawrence, I need you.
Eugene.
And then I've got Richard. And Eugene. One, two.
Can you do it on
Don't think so. Eugene can do the second part.
Or Eugene next
So
time.
how many have we got? 1, 2, 3. I need only 4. So maybe Tabang, I'm going to call you in for the next one. Okay, but I'd like Lawrence to come in as well, if you don't mind. So, all right. Yeah. Thank you very much for stepping up. It does take a little bit of courage. I'm missing one person.
Richard.
Richard. Is he gonna auction for a girl? All right, so. I'm going to set the scene. There was a crime. During a charity fundraiser at our local community center, a large sum of money intended for a new playground has gone missing from the donation box. The police have brought in 4 suspects. They were seen near the box during the event. I would like a detective, and I need somebody with experience, and I spoke to Lawrence a little bit earlier. If Lawrence could be my detective, and the rest of you my 4 suspects. Our detective will lead the investigation, while our 4 suspects will plead their case for innocence. But each suspect will be given a special role. And they will also be given a wild card word. The word needs to be woven into their 2-minute plea at any time of their speech, so to avoid being sentenced to jail. However, there's a dot on one of the roles. He is the criminal, or she is the criminal. And the detective and the audience can try and find out who that criminal is.
Wow.
Okay, so let's give you your role and your word. Can you say a word twice or not? We will see. Now read your word. Okay. Ooh.
Can you repeat what it is?
Right. So you have a role.
Yes.
Okay. Look at your word. Look at what you have written there. You've got a role. You are at the event. Money has gone missing. One of you have taken the money. Okay. You need to take on that role as that person at the event. All right. But you've got a word that you've got to use. That's also been given to you, a wild card word that you need to input into your story, somewhere into your story. Doesn't matter where, anywhere into your story. Okay. And there's the dot. You've got the dot on your, don't look guilty, people. All of you looking guilty already. So if you've got a dot, you are the criminal. All right. Whoa. Detective, please lead the investigation while our 4 suspects plead their case.
Does anybody in the room have a little bit of money for me? No. Credit card or wallet? I won't take it, I promise.
Yeah. It's a credit card.
Come, Michelle, do you have something for me? The handbag will work, actually. There we go. There we go.
We need to take a cheap one.
Today's crime is a crime not of passion, not of murder. Those are all understandable crimes, no. Someone took that. So Sally, on a scale of from totally innocent to I may have left fingerprints. Guilty.
We're not guilty.
I'd like an alibi because what I heard from the chef is that you were sneaking around the safe at approximately 8:15 p.m.
Me. Around the set. No, it couldn't have been because I don't even live in this town. And I just bumped in, I just came in quickly to the school, whatever you're doing this fundraiser. I'm actually looking for bubble wrap. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for bubble wrap. I'm moving house and I just saw that there was a thing going on in this city hall thing, whatever you're doing. And I came to get bubble wrap. So if I'd gone past your safe, where that might be, it wasn't me.
So you knew no one here tonight.
No, I've never been here. I'm new in town. Just looking for bubble wrap.
Convenient. She has never been here. Completely new. She is a guest.
I've never been. I'm new in town.
Bubble
just-
wrap is very convenient.
It's
Michaela, your body language is looking very sus.
Oh gosh, it just gives away. It feels like the first day of the job, you know.
Do you want to explain to us what your role is? Why are you here tonight?
I'm actually late for the kitchen, and you've just brought me here, so now I'm gonna get quiet. So thanks. That I don't need. They're telling me usually reasonably sorry, so I don't know what you need here. I was literally in my car driving, and I was trying to think of what I was going to say for table topics, and then this was brought upon me, and now I'm late, and then you got all these things, and now what if the eggs are spilled?
So you are the chef.
Yeah, I guess.
So
head
you made
chef,
up the
they say.
story about Sally.
I never make anything up.
You know what they say? This is age-old wisdom. The one who smelt it. Interesting. I don't believe your story, and I don't think I'll believe yours either, Richard. So let's hear your alibi for tonight.
Well, I'm a humble janitor, and I make observations. You know, janitors see things that they can never repeat. And as you said, you know, the person who smelt it, dealt it. I mean, and you know, all I did was I just took a pizza slice from the kitchen.
I knew it was you.
Oh, please. I see things. I know things. And so when I walked in to the kitchen, I just took a pizza slice. And then I came and I ate it very quietly in the corner. That is when I made my observation. But because I'm a humble janitor, I can't tell who it was, because if I do, you know, well, you know, I'm just a janitor who ate my pizza slice. For all these people sitting here. So all I will say is that one of these three people and I am innocent.
So saving the most guilty for last, Alex. What is your story, sir?
So, you know, I'm just an accountant, and usually
We can see that, yeah.
I think that would make a lot of sense, to be honest. But I have a like pretty solid alibi because I was just walking my sausage dog, you know.
As accountants do.
I need a holiday currently, so you know, and yeah, when I was there, you know, he just had to, so I had to go away with him. That's why the money got stolen, I was not there.
So tell me, Alex, what accountant has the funds to have a nanny? Is it the accountant that lies about their tax returns?
Yes. Yes.
So we have another thief there, or did you steal 3 rand from the safe? So who would it be then, Alex?
I would say, you know, the one man who's got like much experience at stealing. Once that he has no moral, take risks, to take things from other people that belong to him, don't belong to him. So my suspect is janitor.
So, narrator, we have an issue. Sorry to interrupt, but we've had some crime scene investigations here, and there were 4 fingerprints found on the safe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which leads me to believe that they're all involved. But I want to throw the question at the audience as to whether they've got a question or something that we may have missed, or you just want to criminalize someone. Who in the audience is ready to do that? Yes. Okay, who's the question directed at?
Janitor.
Like the profiling. That's the right. And why do you suspect the janitor?
Because he's blamed everyone else but sees everything. So if you know everything, you probably did it yourself.
The one who smelt it dealt it.
Well, you know, it's always easy to say it's the janitor because I'm just a janitor, and it's always the janitor's fault. So why is it that because I've got the humblest job of all these people here, that I'm the most likely guy to steal it? And because of that, I am so careful that I would never do it so that I can be innocent. So there's no way I did it because I would always be blamed. And that's what you're doing now, and that's not fair, that's wrong. And it's discriminatory.
To be honest, in the bar, hotel bar, rubber duck.
Wow.
Ooh.
Why would you not pronounce that? Solid pizza? I've seen you like do some questionable things. So I think you're still
Oh,
lying.
listen, I can't hide the
You're-
fact that I've got a son.
And your love for bubble bath?
Oh, no, nothing but bubble bath. I just appreciate your cooking.
See, softening up, I feel like this
Who suspects? Who suspects Sally? Who
Oh, I do. I definitely do.
Okay, Tanisha, please can you give us your reason why?
Why were you looking for bubble wrap at a city hall? I just moved to town.
And bubble wrap is right up there. Big items like deodorant and soap.
Bubble wrap, the perfect cover.
Bubble wrap is hard to find when you're looking for it. So I just popped in here and looked for some bubble wrap.
Now,
What did you
final.
need the bubble wrap for?
I just moved and I had a vase in my house that needed to be protected that I can't put out in my house. So I wanted to put it away. So I just thought, well, this is a venue. We'll have some bubble wrap.
You needed the bubble wrap after moving?
Yes, exactly. Tissue paper. And I thought, this place will have bubble wrap. So I popped in.
Okay, detective.
They're very unfriendly. It's being quite like suspicious around this town. I'm not sure whether I even want to move here anymore. I can hold on, get out of here.
Let's do one more question to our last and most guilty, Alex, and then we'll start there. Who we think it is. So Alex's family, you know him best. Why is he shaking? Why is he sweating? Why is he looking so anxious?
Innocence in person.
You are biased, mother. Philip, ask him one question to try and figure out if he did it.
What's the name of your dog? That was from his alibi, so I love him even more for that.
Okay, I'm going to take an educated guess, and I think that Sally is our criminal. Not you.
I think it's Michaela. Michaela.
Should we do a vote? Let's see. Who thinks the janitor Richard? Who thinks Michaela? Who thinks Sally? Who thinks Alex?
The janitor.
Who's not going to raise their hand no matter what I ask? Census says Richard.
No, okay. I think the consensus is Michaela. She's one who's blushing.
Hope you all enjoy your dinner tonight. I will too.
I think this was so beautiful, entertaining. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Last but not least, I don't want to let you go just now. Is there one person in this room? Listen. Is there one person in this room who might walk out of this evening and say, "Oh, I didn't took the chance to speak"? Lift your hand now. Yes. Thank you. Do one of the table topics to finish our evening as the last speaker.
Yes.
Do you like to take this challenge? Oh, I call this courage.
I am already.
Oh, I read it to you. Or you want to read it yourself? Oh. Can someone have too much courage? What do you think?
I agree that someone can have too much courage. I do have courage. I'm here. My plan was not to get up and say anything. And yeah, I do have courage, and I believe that someone can have extreme courage. I'm terrified. I'm excited, and I'm shaking and sweating. But I'm here, and I'm so proud of myself for taking this next step in my life to improving my speech, and yeah, in front of all of you. And yeah, I do believe that someone can have too much courage.
Thank you so much for your work. We don't need your timekeeping right now. I think we were all on time today. I'd like to challenge you to find the right vote now for the evaluators, please, and the table topics. Please take a scan, vote, and then I come back to you. While you finish off, I'm looking forward to get the counter report, please. Anna? See how it is.
I think everyone can agree that everybody was just so good. Excellent speakers. I actually forgot to count the I made up a few and I was particularly strict with Sean. Because Sean is my mentor. So I picked up that he said 5 times. but I'm not sure if that figure is right. Maybe it was just once. But I put 5 times. Lawrence, I was also particularly strict with you. I think you said, but I don't know if it was part of your speech. But I put it down twice. So, and then Eugene, brilliant. I mean, everybody else, no ums and ahs. It was just brilliant.
For your first encounter. You know, when you've done this role once, you never ever can listen in the radio to a speaker and politicians when they do. I sometimes die almost in the car when I hear someone who is supposed to be a top speaker not even have the basic training, and I don't count myself as a professional speaker, but it's like, thank you so much, Anna, for taking this on. Thank you. I'm sure it is a challenge for you as well. I'm very interested and see how you're doing. Please give us your grammarian report. Thank you. Alex, are you there? Thank you.
Thank you. I have seen my spotlight. Here, the people used the word of the day, conscientious. The 4 speakers plus the table topics master. If I left anyone out, you'd tell me. Let me give you a few more interesting examples from the word of the day. Now that I've learned we have a therapist, a child therapist. Here's one of them. A conscientious child therapist knows exactly when a kid is faking a meltdown for a few snacks. Another one. A conscientious child therapist is basically a mind reader for tiny humans with big emotions. Most of the time, the reason as to why we have in Toastmasters the word of the day is quintessentially to not only use that word of the day for our meetings, but outside when we're interacting casually with other people so that they actually spot a difference. This person goes to Toastmasters. That's how they know. That's how someone distills through your language, and they get to learn that there's a different way that you're using grammar or your phrases, you're seamlessly moving through during your discussions. And so it's important for the word of the day. It's not something that we forget, and then the next meeting we have a different word of the day, and then we forget the last one. It should be something that we adopt into our normal day-to-day lexicon. The outstanding phrase, unfamiliar to many, and me, this was, I guess, by the last speaker, was it Lawrence? Yeah, the one with 200 units. I hope I'm right on that one. Treacherous Tuesday and Awful Wednesday. That was the funniest way I've ever had someone describe days he doesn't like in a week. I was not expecting it from him. And I've also gotten to learn that he's honing his skills in writing. I think he needs to tell us whether he has gotten to be a conscientious writer now, or we're still waiting. And I think I also commend him because he has 200 units, because that for most of us is daydreaming, and that tells you of a conscientious business person. Another conscientious business person, I could tell you, was it the first or second speaker? I think it was the first speaker, the one who had illustrations. I can't spot it. However, it was an interesting meeting, and it was easy to understand most of you. Although for most of us online who are joining online, we could get lost. Sometimes the audio was off, but overall, this is beyond average of the normal Toastmasters meeting with the word of the day. And thank you for your company. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Alex. As we close this evening sessions, and I give for the final closing to our president's team, I like to encourage you to remind yourself that being courageous doesn't end when we leave this room or step down from this stage. Let's remember how many small things we are courageous every day, every week. And I love to motivate you. Yeah, Richard, falling asleep? I'm sure you can do this next week as well. I like to encourage you to do one thing, maybe just one thing next week. Something new, something you feel like you want to be brave. Why? Why? Some interaction. Why?
We can do hard things.
We can do hard things. This is the word for me today. Let's finish exactly like that. I don't need any more words. Thank you so much for being here from my side. Thank you so much that I was your Toastmaster. And I love to give back to Justine to finish our evening. And one sentence, one more sentence, John. Spare. I really love to see you again, to be in our club, to bring you with us forward wherever it brings you. And if you just feel like visiting, just come sometime. I'm just coming back, actually. I think my husband asked himself, why is she going back to this thing all the time? So finally I got him here, and he said in the first break, now I understand. But it's lovely. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much. You were outstanding. Your energy was courageous. You were phenomenal. And you just uplift this whole entire room. So thank you so much for being our Toastmaster tonight. It really was amazing. Thank you. And I would like to just acknowledge all of our role players this evening. Where's the cross? We've lost it. I'd like to acknowledge all of our role players this evening. We have had some brand spanking new members taking on roles. So Anna, JP, Eugene, Evaluator, Rate, and Alexander in Kenya, thank you so much. You were all fabulous role takers, or players, that's the word, role players this evening. So thank you for taking that step, being courageous, and helping us out as the club. Because without those roles, we couldn't be here. So thank you very much. As Chantal says, I think we need Anna to be the R count every time you're on. I think we all agree that the speeches tonight were top-notch. Really, really amazing speeches, inspiring, educational, all of those words. Can't even name them all right now, but they were so amazing. And I think every single one of us this evening has something that they are taking away.
And I think that's what I love the most about Toastmasters is you arrive at the event and you actually don't know what you're going to take home with you. And every time I'm driving in my car, I'm listening to my songs, and I'm like, yeah, Toastmasters, and I leave and I'm like, wow, it's not it's like, wow. The stories that people share, the stories that they tell from their hearts to us, it's really so fabulous. And I love that we get to hear your stories. So thank you for everyone being brave, standing up here and just sharing. So thank you all for that. And the table topics, Andrea, thank you. I think it was, we still remember so clearly when Lawrence did table topics and was also the stand-up. Richard was here when he
Yes.
yes. And we were all in hysterics, and I think this evening it was exactly that. So thank you so much. It's different, out of the box thinking, and just so fun. And then we still got to do the traditional table topics too. So thank you. So brave. You stood up and said, well, you
Yes.
stood up. Very brave. You can be very proud of yourself. Okay, let's start with our awards because I know you're all waiting desperately for that. And then we can go on to our beautiful guests. Let's just hope we have everything that goes after our show. Okay. Please may I ask, oh, you use this drum. Drum roll. Yay.
Thanks, Chris.
Richard? Don't you win every time? Thank you. Drum roll. There's the camera.
Oh, you should just rubbing Justine's face.
Congratulations. Drum roll for our best speaker. But Nina, congratulations for celebrating on your behalf. Now it's time that I get to hear from all of our lovely guests. Please let me know, what is your takeaway from this evening? What did you find? You tell me in your own words, but what is your takeaway? What inspired you? What will bring you back? What won't bring you back? Let us know. We would love the feedback. Richard. I should have started this side, but we'll just go this way.
I think the warmth of the woohoo cards, it is simple. There's no printing involved. It's a piece of paper, and it allows a person just to speak from the heart and pass on. I thought involving people in new roles, I don't know if it was your first time, Julia, but you were one of the warmest tabletop Toastmaster of the evening people I've ever seen. So I want to really commend you on it.
Thank you, Richard. Ian.
Well, I have visited dozens of Toastmaster clubs in about 10 countries. And I think this is the first time I've felt like I was at a party. Kind of stressful Toastmasters public speaking kind of meeting. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Justine, you're right. This was better than last week. I've heard so much about this club. I've been to many, many clubs across a number of countries as well. This club has a lot of vibrancy. It has a lot of health. It has a warmth. But I'll tell you what I love more than anything is Julia making the sale at the end. And she wanted one more moment to say, join this club. I can't tell you how many clubs do not make that call to action at the end. So many people who walk through this door, it took them 5 years, 8 years. Sally, where are you? 9 years to walk through that door. All right. And we're expecting that person to come up to us and say, oh, can I join? That's a hard thing to say. But what a wonderful thing to be able to look at somebody and say, thank you so much for coming. You see how this can help you. We would love to have you as a member of our club. If that's the attitude of this club, that's why you have such strength. And it's so warm and engaging. And I hope more clubs come here, more people come here to see what you do and to see how you do it, because this is a wonderful club in Cape Town. In fact, one of the best clubs I've ever been to.
Oh. Training with person
Luciana. Yes, thank you for having me. I haven't been to any of this, so I cannot compare. But it's not about comparing. But my word was lively, a little bit close to the party. Your word at the party, very lively. I didn't have any expectation it was going to be serious, not serious. I don't know. I just go for it courageously. But yeah, it's very alive, a lot of energy. Uplifting energy and very educating, the talks as well, entertaining, a little bit of everything, and the diversity, it's wonderful, and very well engaged, even though there was some sound, as I said, but very great to be able to include everyone. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with everything that's been said. I really appreciate the diversity here in age, in groups, and interests, and people from everywhere. This is a super inclusive group. It's super welcoming. And yes, the vibe was lively. That's
thank you.
Oh, I think it took me a while to actually get to this point of actually just coming to a club, and seeing everyone present is amazing. I tend to shift between being overwhelmed and being super inspired, but it's the first time that I think there is a path that you can take to get from the point where you're at, where you're like, this isn't possible, to I could actually do that. Yeah. So I feel like this is I'm leaving very happy tonight.
Yeah.
It's a really nice, positive vibe.
Oh, thank you.
I think a lot of us relate to that where we started and we're like,
taking ESCOM, load shedding, whatever it might be, just to not participate. And then you can see yourself grow from there to there. So it's possible. Thank you so much.
Ciao. This feels like home.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing feeling knowing, and I can witness so many people and how they've grown from 2 years ago when I was in this club. And I'm absolutely in awe of the energy and the quality of the speeches. I was telling her I considered joining in 2016, and I witnessed Verity Price, and I said, "Oh, there's no way I'm getting up there because these people are too good. What are they doing here?"
but it's baby steps, and I'm in awe of everybody. Chantal, Sally, when we first joined, unbelievable how you've all grown in this space. So I think I'm going to be coming back. Yeah.
Gabrielle will be on you.
Yeah, I'm already on.
Jason.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with everybody that it was a brilliant meeting. If I have to add on top of that, I get to speak to quite a lot of CEOs around the world, and storytelling is really, really important. But I think in this room, everybody has that ability to level up through humor. And I think that's almost like the height of intelligence. And I really, really enjoyed that. And I was actually inspired, and I took a lot from everybody. Yeah. So I will be, I'll be becoming a member.
AKA the wedding vows.
Lovely vows.
Marius, what's your takeaway?
I came here with purpose tonight. Doing something very intentional. I didn't expect this, to be honest with you. Really good feedback in terms of comparison. It's really, really good because I know there's a table view club as well. But because of Sean, I came here first. Now I can't go to the other ones. But what I liked about it is that if I can bring it back to the theme. Courage is actually an interesting thing. Courage is I don't know if it's a personality character or trait or something, but it's the thing that actually pushes you into places of danger and breaking through your own fear. So courage is that thing. And some people, you will have 7 Marines or 7 military guys, and only one will actually step into. They will have the same training, the same experience, the same physical training, but when the moment or the situation requires it from them, one or two will step in, and they will step into a position where they will put their own lives in danger, and they will break through their own fear. And that's what courage is. So, but you shouldn't underplay the importance of the structure you follow, the structure and the dynamics. The flow of events is really, really well designed. And obviously the personalities around the table make a huge difference. And the people that actually lead and manage the process, which is really, really good. Very well planned, very well prepared, structured. Now, I'll also be coming back.
Amazing.
We love this venue. It's not good.
Thank you, Marius. That's great feedback. Thank you very much. Table, how was it for you? You were brave, you were courageous, you stood up here.
Yeah, first of all, I'm proud of myself.
Yes.
For,
Must be.
yeah. And thank you for all of you. You're very welcoming and friendly. What I take, actually, I've already taken that step to do the hard thing. That's what the hardest thing for me. I'm always behind the screen, the computer, and for me, that's my daily thing. I'm a computer support and administrator, so that's my comfort. So today, I managed to break out of that comfort. And yeah, thanks. I'm definitely coming back.
Yeah, when I came here, I came because of
yeah.
And I was busy doing my practical appreciation and check each and every speech, and I discovered that you are covering a big package of like life, business, marriage, death, and action in terms of what you're gonna do in life. So I learned a lot of things in terms of that, and I'm really looking forward to learn a lot of things in those things. And I really need to join also
Amazing. Thank you so much.
A whole variety of
Yes, the
things.
variety of things and it was very interesting. And I don't have a child, but I also learned a lot of
Yeah, you now know how to parent
all
if
of
you have a
them.
child. But it rolled out the window.
In other words, like clients and yeah, you know, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, and I really learned a lot of things.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, celebrity in the house. What is your takeaway?
Well, first of all, number one, everything what has been said is I fully agree to that. It's absolutely, I totally agree with that. Great organization. When I asked Julia this afternoon, how long will it take? She said something about 2.5, 3 hours. And then I expected 3 or 4 30-minute speeches, everybody snoozing away or whatever. And then I saw this timetable and I said, oh, it's great. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. This sounds very interesting. And, yeah, it looks like an interesting evening. And yeah, to actually admit, it was a very interesting evening. And I didn't like only the speech by itself and to have a speech by itself. Also, the contents of the speeches had been very interesting and yeah, some inspiring somehow. And that's what I liked as well. What is my most important takeaway? It's that now I understand why my lovely and wonderful woman and wife, why she likes this event so much. Yeah? Because you know, tonight I have a speech club and said, okay, yeah, speech club, okay, what is it? Now I fully understand that she's so eager to join you as many times as she can, as she will be here in Cape Town. And it's fully understandable now. What brings me back? Yeah, for sure, my wife. And last but not least, it shouldn't be a threat or a promise. Whenever I will be in Cape Town and there will be this event, I will be here together with my wife. Thank you very much.
Happy to meet you. And here you eat. This is beautiful as studio. Alex, our accountant. What do you think?
I'm like really positive surprise because you know, when you're a teenager, you're old and your mom tells you like, honey, you want to come to my speech club? Nothing sounds like the most fun activity to do. But I'm really glad that I came here today because it's really like different from how I expected it to be. You know, I expected how my dad said he imagined it as well. But it was like really different from that, and it's like a really fun activity. And even though I'm unfortunately not able to attend every meeting because I live a couple of 1,000 kilometers northern from here, but I think every time when I'm around here, I will hopefully attend here again, and I will be here again, and it will be a pleasure.
So yes, I really love it here. It's very synthetic. And I think it's the whole energy in here is very great, and like it's all together. You do something together, and you're passionately behind it, and so on. So I think when I came here, I will also come back. So more fun.
Just quickly, he is the son for my cousin and they live in Zurich, and he's here for doing a language course for 3 weeks. Okay. So he's here to learn English. That is why I think this was actually very
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Have you just arrived?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. All the best. That's very exciting. But yes, come and join us again when you're back.
Okay, in Zurich to find the Toastmasters.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love hearing from our guests. It's such valuable takeaways and feedback, and just giggle at, I just looked at you, Alex, now and thought about the sausage dogs. We loved it all. It was all great. Thank you so much, everyone, for contributing and bringing your energy and your love and awareness and just liveliness into this evening. Our next event is on the 4th of November. The theme is aha moments. So that should be quite fun and interesting, and we'll be inducting Jason. Aha, he's a member. I ask you to please, Sally will send out a poll on our WhatsApp group. There'll be lots of different roles, well, all the roles for this evening: Toastmaster, R counter, timer, etc. Oh, I must check in. Who is gone? And please, will you just click at least 2, not all of them, but just click at least 2, because otherwise when someone else goes onto the poll, it looks like it's all been completed.
Yeah, so not more than 2.
Not more than 2. So just choose 2. And if there are 7 Toastmasters, that's okay. We won't put you all on the same night. We'll just start slotting you into different events. So please sign up. We need your participation in all of the roles. And that's it from me. That's all, folks. I wish you a lovely evening and week ahead. Thank you to everyone for being here. And we'll see each other on the 4th of November. Thank you.
I'm available. I'm available if somebody wants to sign up. Seize the moment. Otherwise, you get